Live. Going live. You're live! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade on the GTX 1050 Ti, 1650 Super and RX 570. How are you guys doing? Welcome. So Final Fantasy VII Remake finally arrived on PC, and it's an Unreal Engine 4 game, so I said, okay, it's going to be interesting, and so far, the options menu is very disappointing. I mean, there's no full screen, only borderless full screen. Then textures low or high, shadows low or high, frame rate from 30 to 120, and characters displayed. That plus HDR. So, one of the worst options menus. Very basic for an Unreal Engine 4 title, a high profile game. Doing fine on Atata, what about you? Oh, I'm using a 1050 Ti right now. Apologies for that, guys. Thank you. I forget to put that up. So, latest drivers. So, let me talk very quickly about this. So, frame rate. It allows you to go up to 120, but apparently what I'm seeing in this option, it triggers dynamic resolution. So, if you put 30, you're going to have a higher resolution closer to your native. And if you go to 60 or 120, it's going to look softer, so it seems to change the resolution to reach that target frame rate. You don't seem to be able to disable this, so I'm going to put it at 120, just for now. Let's see if we can get 60 frames at any point in time. So high settings, 1080p, and that's about it. Let's see how it runs. So this is basically the options menu. Music disabled to protect my channel, language, very basic stuff. So yeah, options menu disappointing. Let's start the game, shall we? How to change to English option because I have Japanese language by default and there's a lack of English option. What do you mean? It should be there by default. Okay, so as you can see, right now we're into the game and I'm getting 48 frames on high settings, but again, the game looks super soft. You might not be able to notice this. But if you look at... oh, hang on. But if you look at Cloud's face, it's pretty soft, actually. So again, I'm guessing that dynamic resolution is triggered depending on the frame rate target you selected. As you can see, this should be 1080p, but it looks below 1080p. So my advice would be to put it at 30 to get visuals. But right now, it doesn't allow me to go into the options menu, so let me show you a super quick comparison that I took a few videos, and I think this will be interesting for you guys. So give me one sec. I'm going to put the videos in. So this is with the different FPS logs. There is an FPS log for 120, one for 60, one for 90, and it apparently triggers dynamic resolution, which is pretty interesting, at least in my opinion. So very quickly I'll show you this before starting. So 120 option. So 120 will be this one. Then we got the 60 option. And the 30 frames per second option. Which, as I'm seeing right now, it triggers dynamic resolution to get to the frame rate that you want, basically. So, not sure if you guys can notice this, but on the 30 FPS lock, as you can see here, it locks the frame rate, yeah, but it also changes the dynamic resolution. So if you zoom in, you can see that the 30 frames lock gives us a higher resolution overall. So yeah, my advice here would be to basically target 60 or 30. Do not go for 120. It's not only the FPS lock, it also controls the dynamic resolution. You can see the sharpness of the image. On the 30 Hz mode, it looks way sharper, so keep that in mind. That's why I'm going to select the 60 Hz mode right now. Anyway, so let's continue. That was the first part. So let's play it like this. Let's put it at 60 beforehand. That'll be fair. Because again, dynamic resolution seems to be 60 FPS dynamic res. Seems to be mandatory. You cannot turn it off. So yeah, super blurry. Just put it on 60 or 30, depending on your PC. Let's try 60, first of all. So again, this changes the dynamic resolution. Characters displayed, I selected 8, and then you got high or low. There's no in between, so wish me luck. Also, guys, it's $70 on the Epic Games Store. Please don't. Okay. So here we are. So far it's over 30 frames, so that's good. Although it's probably not native 1080. Looks pretty soft, like this. So let's see what happens.
You're coming with us. Nice and easy.
There are some stutters when effects show up for the first time. That's kind of the usual in Unreal Engine 4. So yeah, they didn't even bother, despite charging us $70, they didn't even bother to put options, good options. I mean, there's no full screen, only borderless. There is high and low for shadows and textures, and that's about it. And they force on you dynamic resolution.
Freeze! Move and we shoot. Go ahead.
So yeah, in this case, I'll probably just try... Oh, hang on. Yeah, sure, go for it. In this case, I would target 30 frames with one configuration, and then 60 with a lower resolution. That seems to be possible, but we'll see. Yeah, no full screen, only borderless full screen or windowed. Let me skip everything. I don't want to give you guys spoilers. The fan with right bumper, gotcha.
Try harder.
Okay, what else?
No holding back.
Yeah, it seems to drop when effects show up. Let's try focus thrust. That's what he did. Will this game ever launch on Steam? Yeah, probably. I do not know for sure, but I'm guessing it will. I guess eventually they're going to add more options, but if you charge $70, I want at least the absolute minimum. What were they thinking? Sí, desactivé la música, Eduardo. Sí, no me puedo arriesgar. Find boxes, yeah. Let's continue. Yeah, at least it doesn't have the Nubo. That's the only saving grace. Other than that, pretty basic.
So what's Soldier Boy's deal? Is he...
¿Qué dice Blue Lack? Y le faltan opciones, pero corre bastante bien por ahora. Yeah, so far so good with the performance, guys. We'll see once we get into bigger battles.
Get him, boy.
Guess you're first.
But yeah, at least in this part, it appears to be fine. Let me see if I can pause the game.
Get ready.
Yeah, I still cannot go into the options menu without going into the main menu, which sucks, but hey, I'll get there eventually, I guess. Yeah, the 570 will come in the end, yeah. Don't worry, we're getting there. At least it runs well. What about dynamic resolution disabled? There's no such option, unfortunately. Which bothers me, but hey, we'll see. Let me get into the part where it allows me to pause the game. It doesn't allow me to go... Oh, never mind. I think I found it. Story... No, I don't have the settings as of yet. Yeah, so weird. It doesn't allow me to access the options menu. Sí, esto es Unreal 4. For the people asking, yeah, this is an Unreal Engine 4 game.
This way.
Are you all saying this is a bad port? Yeah, the thing about port, it doesn't mean that it runs bad sometimes. Bad port they say probably because it has only 2 options in the menu, 2 or 3 options, and it doesn't have full screen, which is weird.
No holding back.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing that's why.
Enough.
And let me increase the brightness. Oh, the brightness. I cannot get... Yeah, no. I cannot increase the brightness from here. So it's a basic port, but it seems to run well. It's a stutter, okay? It seems to stutter on the first... once an effect shows up for the first time. So yeah, classic Unreal Engine 4 stutter, but on this one it doesn't seem to be major. Seems to be okay. But my issue with forcing dynamic resolution is that... Hang on. Is that I cannot select a consistent resolution. It forces me to use dynamic res. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But hey, what can you do? Yeah, this is DX12 as well. I find it weird because many Unreal Engine 4 games have those options. And those are baked in. Okay, what's not supposed to go down there? Y estaría bueno, pero no sé. Veremos qué pasa con Spider-Man. You're going to try PS5 Prioritized Performance Mode, aka low settings on PC? Hell yeah. Although I want to be able to go into the options menu first. Would be nice. Without going back to the menu, I mean. Okay, here's more battles.
Let's do this. That'll do. Enough.
But so far so good. Are there PS4 equivalent settings? That's probably low settings. I'm guessing this game will look good no matter what. We're on the highest settings actually. So I'm guessing with a 30 frames per second option and dynamic resolution, we're going to be basically at 1080p.
Come on, Cloud.
Let's go. Sí, Bloodborne en PC estaría bueno. Yeah, Bloodborne on PC would be nice. And thank you so much QA for the 40 Indian rupees donation. He says, I'm getting 3060 Ti Founders Edition, not sure to be happy or sad. What do you mean? Be happy, man. It's a great GPU.
But I hear they make good guard dogs too.
Enjoy, man. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it.
Don't you worry. Biggs will have the door open soon.
Open the door.
In 3, 2. Damn, I'm good.
Maybe try NIS to decrease the blurriness later on. Yeah, we'll try.
We can
Punisher mode, Cloud moves slowly, but unleashes more powerful attack.
make it rain.
Okay, I'll go Punisher mode. I'd rather be a beast.
We're back.
Let's see, can I now go into the options menu?
Let's move.
Okay, there you go. Finally. Let me save my progress. Thank you. Let me see. So as I was saying before, these are the options available. Shadows, lower high. Textures, lower high. Borderless full screen, windowed. Frame rate 60, 30, 90 or 120. Again, the thing that bothers me about this options menu, apart from little options, is that they force on you dynamic resolution. So yeah, let me show you how that works very quickly, because it looks super soft. So I'm going to record a few seconds of footage and show you the difference. So the thing is, the game it's forcing on you dynamic resolution depending on your GPU load, which is good for the user that doesn't know how to tweak stuff. But for us that we like tweaking that stuff manually, we cannot do it. It's not an option in the menu. So let's put it at 30 now. So the game should now look better, basically. Because we're forcing a lower resolution, a higher resolution with a lower frame rate. Let's see if that works. Anyway, so let me show you the comparisons super quick. Come on, NVIDIA iCat, open up, need to show stuff. Okay. So as you can see, not sure if you can notice that, but there is a higher resolution in the 30 frames per second mode. Of course, the GPU load is way lower, and we're in a less demanding stage. So yeah, it's still pretty soft, but it's softer on the 60 frames per second image. So yeah, my advice, if you want to play with higher settings, lock it to 30, you'll have a better resolution, as you can see in this rail. Although it's pretty good. I'm getting double the performance for this softer image, which I think is a good trade-off, but some people want the higher resolution that they can get. So yeah, 30 frames lock on the left, 60 frames lock on the right, so forced dynamic resolution. So yeah, still looking like a Ken doll. But let's see if we put it at 60, if we can get 60s while using low settings, which is the only other option. So 60, shadow resolution on low. There we go. So 1080p high textures, 60 frames dynamic res, and low shadows. And let's see how it goes. All right. Shadows still look good. I mean, let's compare super quickly shadows on low versus high. That would be interesting. So it's interesting because usually low versus high shadows, I mean, you can notice, but in a game when it only gives you two options, it's either it looks good or it looks slightly worse. Let's see. The resolution of the shadows. Okay, yeah, I can see the difference, although, yeah, I don't think it's worth doing. If it gives us more frames, give me worse shadows. Okay, low shadows. And I'm going to disable vibration. Kinda bothers me. Where are you? Vibration off. No thanks. Alright. Why borderless full screen? Because it's the only option. It's either borderless full screen or you cannot do full screen. It's either windowed or borderless. Which bothers me. It's pretty lazy. Okay, so let's see shadows on low versus shadows on high. Honestly, I'll keep them on low. I mean, the resolution is lower, but the edges are softer, so it actually looks more like a real shadow, if you ask me. So put shadows on low. Do yourself a favor. At least in this part, less defined. But I mean, yeah. Ridiculous. Low looks better, in my opinion. Looks softer. I mean, okay, I can see the lower resolution shadow, but still, it looks okay. What the hell? Oh, the brightness. I forgot about the brightness. Sorry, guys. I keep forgetting. UI brightness. Okay, a lot better. There we go.
It's a good thing I know someone who can get us the passcodes. Pity no one else at command will talk.
Okay, let's see if we can maintain 60s now. If we cannot, it's fine. We are going to try lower resolution and then a 30 frames configuration.
So, you know Tifa, right?
Yeah, I know Tifa. Where is she? Yeah, it's a lazy PC port, but at least it runs well. Barrett specializes in ranged attacks. Gotcha.
Gonna throw your sword at him? Let the man with the gun go to work. These tin cans ain't got nothing on me. Now for the real shit.
Overcharge. Okay, it appears to be fine, at least right now. But it blows my mind that I can do 60 frames, even if it's dynamic resolution we're talking about. Wasn't expecting that, honestly. Let's see if it stays that way though. You can switch to different characters, gotcha.
You got this. Do your job.
I'd rather do Cloud. What is the actual resolution at dynamic resolution? We don't know. The game doesn't tell us. I wish I knew, but I do not. Why there's no jump button? Am I missing something? Guys, is there a jump button? Or I'm wasting my time looking for it?
That was something else.
Yeah, I cannot jump. What the hell? Are you serious? There's no jump button?
Police security system.
Salió bueno en tema de rendimiento. Después fuera de eso, So for the people wondering, yeah, it runs well so far. No complaints. The thing is, the options menu is very lackluster. Doesn't have full screen, it's only borderless full screen. It only has high and low on textures and shadows, although shadows on low and high look pretty similar, so should be good to go. And when you select the frame rate target, it uses dynamic resolution. So you cannot do constant resolution, you gotta use dynamic each and every time. So yeah, the game can look soft if you're targeting 60 on this card. But still, pretty impressed with the performance.
Let's see what's up next. And it's more of the same. Come on then. Not too shabby.
Does it preload the shaders before starting the game? No, it doesn't. That's kind of the bad part.
Attention. You're doing
The bad part is that the first time you see an effect is going to do a shader cache stutter. But it happens on the very first moment, like the first 10 minutes when you're fighting, and then it smooths out.
They don't call those things
So yeah, there are frame time spikes,
I can wipe out
but I wouldn't say it's unplayable. There are Unreal Engine 4 games where that is terrible. On this one, you can see it, but it doesn't make it unplayable, in my opinion at least.
Junk is a heavy weapons platform.
Cool boss, yeah.
We died.
Is that right?
Need to hit it with magic. That should give us an opening. Here we go.
Try GTX 1650 Super. No settings for effects either, no.
Get ready.
The only settings that you got are shadows and textures, and amount of characters on screen.
It's not moving.
And there's only two options for each of them, either high or low. There's no medium, there's no disable lowering effects quality. This game just wants to look good, I guess.
Get back up.
But it forces dynamic resolution on you, so keep that in mind.
No time to complain.
Still, pretty impressive. In my opinion, for the visuals.
Do this.
Yeah, the CPU is doing nothing. The CPU doesn't care that I'm running the game. The CPU says, that's all you got?
Take care of those wounds before you bleed out.
Okay, dead. Reduced to atoms. Let's heal.
20-something?
First. Soldier first class. Doesn't go into the 20s.
Can you force some video control panel on it? Yeah, it should be okay.
Please, not your goddamn rank.
Though for all I know, a soldier's rank could be the same as his age.
Okay, stutter there. Probably new area loading. Let's see what happens. Okay, big battle incoming. I remember this from the trailer. Can you disable dynamic resolution? No, I don't have an option for that, unfortunately. When you select the frame rate target, it'll adjust the resolution. So you can change the resolution of the screen, but when you select 60, 30 or whatever, you're going to get dynamic resolution going when it's necessary.
Heads up, boys. The end's in sight.
So yeah, keep that in mind. That's important to mention. So if you want a more consistent resolution, lock it to 30 in the menu. But that's about it. We get to the big boss battle and I'll try a different resolution. But so far, we can do 60 frames apparently.
To the planet's core.
Although yeah, the game can look rather soft. That's for sure.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Let's see. Here we go. Big moment. No worries, Total Knockout. Thanks for sticking around. There's a person with 2 different accounts asking for 750 Ti. That's coming soon. Set the timer, 30 minutes.
That long enough for
Yeah, I'm a coward.
How the hell do we
That's how it looks on PS4, so not bad. Good.
But the internals
Happy to know,
might be
man.
Overloaded. Lightning magic.
no other option, huh?
Shit.
Should I be worried?
It's on you.
Yeah, I'll do it.
It appears to be fine, even when effects show up. Although you can really notice the resolution shifting around to get 60s.
Barely scratched the damn thing.
Didn't I tell you to use magic?
Thought you were full of shit.
Think whatever you want.
Okay,
Just do
magic.
it.
That thunder I hear? Hell yeah! You see the damage I did?
Keep it up.
Coming at you, Yerba.
Let's do. All right.
Play stava 30 o 60? 30. Well, people asking, on PlayStation 4 it's 30 frames. On PlayStation 5 you have 2 ways. You can do either 30 or 60.
Got anything
I think.
you want to say? Funny way to ask for help. All right, watch it learn. Suck now.
Please try Soulja Boy console. Going for it, man. Yeah, I mean, it drops into the 50s when those sparks show up. But otherwise, it seems to be fine. Oh. Cloud, no!
Really gonna make me deal with this on my own?
Okay,
No thing.
I'll go on my own. Frick you, Cloud.
That thunder I hear? Huh? It didn't work?
They should have put a toggle for dynamic resolution. Well, they should have also put a full screen option, but here we are.
I'm surprised. Damn it. Gotta do something about that barrier first. Ooh, gotta love it.
I even forgot how to play this game already. Oh, the weak spot, I saw it.
Quit napping and get your ass back up. Got some fight left in you.
Great.
¿Tiene DLSS o FSR? No.
Damn it.
Con suerte tiene pantalla completa. Cloud. Please do something, Cloud. Yeah, even with explosions going on, I'm getting 50s, so... Let's retry. I'm going to show you something super quick. So, again, for 60 frames, you don't need much, honestly, at least not in this level. Just lower shadows to low, there's only low and high. Honestly, low looks pretty close. Frame rate, this will enable dynamic resolution when necessary. So, if you put 60, you'll have a soft image, at least on a 1050 Ti. But you can get 60s actually, which is good. Then characters displayed, I have 8 because I don't know in different areas how many characters will show up. So I'm going to show you now the best visuals target, which will be 1080p high settings. Oh, let me see if I can do 1440p actually. That would be interesting. Yeah, no, 1440p is too much. Screw that. So, 30 FPS dynamic resolution now, with highest settings, which is high, basically. There's no more than that. So what does this do? This will lock your frame rate to 30, but it will enable dynamic resolution, locking it to 30 frames. So the game will go up and down with the resolution, targeting to hit this frame rate target as much as possible. Unfortunately, again, you cannot disable this, so you're kind of screwed. If you want to be over 60, do 120, but it looks so soft. I think it's a waste. On this card, at least. So let me show you very quick what this means. So this will be with the 120 FPS target. You can probably not notice, but it looks soft AF. Because we're very far away from 120. Then, if you do the 60 frames per second target, it's going to be easier for the GPU, so the resolution will increase a tiny bit. So you get slightly higher resolution. Again, depending on the GPU. Dang it, I screwed up. And then if you put it at 30, the resolution will be much higher, because we're asking the GPU to do way less. So yeah. Not sure if you can notice that, but in the 30 Hz mode, it looks so much sharper, it's ridiculous. So yeah, my advice on this one, 1080p, low shadows, lock it to 60, it will fluctuate the resolution. Maybe put it on 900p to get less wild numbers. But overall, lowering the resolution should make it less unstable visually. But that's about it. It's so bare bones. I've seen worse, but I mean, for the price of this game, it's kind of lame. That's all they give us for options. So the one in the middle is 60, the one at the right is 120, and the one at the left is 30. And as you can see, visually speaking, there's no comparison. I mean, the 30 frames per second mode is way sharper, the 60 frames mode is soft, and the 120 Hz mode is ultra soft. So again, depends on your GPU. If you have a 3090 or something like that, it will look the same on those three. But what I'm trying to say is that the game forces dynamic resolution on you. So yeah, this looks way better. Let's put it at 30 minutes.
That long.
So
How the hell do we fight
this means, okay, you want more resolution and you want it at 30 frames locked. Well, that's pretty easy to do, as you can see, on 1080p on the 1050 Ti, so that's rather impressive, if you ask me. And thank you so much, Dark Master, for the 6 MYR donation. He says, been waiting for this, heard it's optimized. Yeah, it runs pretty well. Although it forces on you dynamic resolution, and it doesn't have a lot of options, like at all. Which bothers me, considering how expensive it is. But hey, what can you do? When an enemy is about to use an attack that cannot be guarded, the exclamation point symbol will appear. Take evasive action. Okay.
Deal with that.
So yeah, my advice, lock it to 30 if you want higher resolution. This looks like 1080p now, honestly. So yeah, it runs very well. Performance is good. Although I wish I could disable dynamic resolution, that would be nice.
What kind of stupid question is that? Quit rushing me. You got this.
I got this. Get ready.
Yeah, it runs well, but I cannot optimize it myself if I wanted to. And also there is no option to disable anything. You're locked with the settings they chose, which is fine. It keeps the visuals of the game untouched. But at the same time, it makes me think, oh man, if I had a good GPU, I would be pissed. Because I wouldn't be able to go further than this. How's the frame pacing? So far so good. No complaints about frame pacing. It stutters when an effect shows up for the first time. Classic Unreal Engine 4 stutter. But it's not as outrageous as other Unreal Engine 4 games. It's pretty mild so far on the stutter department, which is good. And on the CPU side, well, it just doesn't care.
A barrier? Never seen this defense system before.
Thought you were the expert.
So what's your brilliant plan, genius?
Although at 30 frames, it's super sharp in comparison to the 60 Hz mode.
Bingo. Focus on that core.
Yeah, focus on that sweet spot.
Waiting in suspense next time.
So disgusting. Focus thrust in the weak spot.
Try this. Gotta heal up.
That sounds so dirty. ¿Cómo lo consigo? Está en la Epic Game Store. For the people asking, it's on the Epic Game Store, but be warned, it's $70. So it's super expensive. And considering the amount of options, I'm pretty disappointed. Come on, Cloud.
Turn this around. It's my time to shine.
Or go down in flames.
That's what she said, yeah.
Hard as that.
Agreed.
You're in for it now.
Just shoot.
Let me heal myself.
Right.
Guess it's my turn.
Oh yeah, with the Epic coupon it keeps you at $60. Yeah, well, that's a way better price, without a doubt. Although for a PC version, again, I'm still disappointed with the lack of options.
Ain't done yet.
Although, at least the game runs well.
You think I care about a few cuts and bruises? Cause I don't.
Steel skin, spells, thunder.
That thunder I hear? Enough with all the berries.
Oh man, I'm so not used to using circle to dodge. I'd rather use A. Okay, let's heal Cloud super quick.
Got some fight left in you.
The frame times are bad. No, it's fine. No bigger spikes. Only when loading an effect for the first time, but after that it's fine.
It wouldn't be much of a weapon if it went down easy.
You can lock it to 33.3 using Riva Tuner, but that's kind of the usual. Waiting 1 year for the port and another one for the price drop. That's a good one, man. Well done.
Thought you soldiers
Oh,
were
Cloud is
tougher
dead
than
again.
this.
Anyway. So again, my advice, at least for now, if you want a solid resolution, put it at 30 frames. Let me retry from the checkpoint. In Dark Souls you use circle to dodge. Really? I rebind that key then. So let's now try something else. Let me see if I lower the resolution to 900p, if I can actually get log 60s. So the game should now look even softer than before. Come on, dynamic res. There we go. It kicked in. Okay. Yeah, it does look even softer now, but it's more consistent. What about 720? Yeah, only the city is left. I think we gotta go to the city. Let me see very quickly 720. I want to see how soft it looks. Yeah, it looks super soft at 720. Makes sense. I mean, what was I expecting? Anyway. So I'll probably select 900p, low shadows, and frame rate dynamic resolution 60 on this one. I'm still not used to the controls though. High textures, low shadows, and 60 FPS dynamic resolution. And that should do. That should be more consistent visually, at least. This will be my recommended settings. Let's put it on 20 minutes.
Pretty cocky, ain't you?
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, how the hell do we fight this thing?
It's got reinforced armor plating, but the internals can be overloaded. Lightning
Oh.
magic.
Okay, lighting magic.
No other
There we
option,
go.
huh?
Oh, insufficient ATB. Yeah, okay. I'm just starting to understand how the game works.
Look out!
Okay. Okay, I found out how to lock on properly. I was doing it incorrectly. Thunder.
Gonna make your eyeballs pop. Hell yeah! You see the damage I did?
Keep it up.
Okay, charge my ATV. Good. So I thunder.
Shit, hey, we go. Want some more? Kiss my ass.
Alright, another thunder.
Gonna make your eyeballs pop. Suck on this.
I gotta overload.
That thunder I hear?
Okay. What now? Yeah, he said it. No, Atata. He said it.
The hell is that?
A barrier? Never seen this defense system before.
Thought you were the expert.
So what's your brilliant plan?
Okay, so now I gotta go to the weak spot. Which, in my opinion, is a hilarious name for the attack I'm going to use now, which is called Focus Thrust. That cannot be an accident. They knew.
Aye, soldier boy. Show me
They
what you
completely knew. But it runs well, yeah. As long as you tamper with your expectations, should be okay.
Hey, you really gonna make me deal with this on my own?
But my expectations were pretty low. And I'm only disappointed with the lack of options. Performance, I'm pretty satisfied.
This ain't nothing. Sorry, no
Fight
choice.
through it.
Okay, time to dodge. There we go. I want to get to the city, but I don't know how far away it is, which kind of bothers me.
Pushing it.
Why now? If we
What's better than Final Fantasy 15? I think so, yeah. Although that's an open world game.
How about less lip from you? Ain't no thing.
Another potion for Barret.
Give 'em hell.
And now we heal Cloud, because we're terrible.
Gotta heal up when I have the chance. Here we go. Now, hit it hard and fast.
Hit it hard and fast, hell yeah. That's how we do it, Cloud. Does it have 21x9 support? I don't know. Wish I knew. I always forget that I got a block.
Could keep going if I heal up.
Yeah, let's heal up.
Ain't no thing.
The city part is like less than 1 hour away. Okay. Thanks for the heads up.
Coming at you hard.
Does it even start on the 750 Ti? I do not know. I'll try it later tomorrow. Don't worry, I'll be there.
We gonna let this thing keep pushing us around? I don't think so.
Come on. Oh,
Here it comes.
there we go. That's how you do it.
Give 'em what's coming.
Got this.
Punisher mode, please. Should be 50 USD game because of DLC. Should be that price because of the age of the game. But 7 is just too much. Especially with the amount of options,
That laser.
or lack thereof.
What do we do?
Don't get hit. Take cover behind that debris.
Need my help, do you? Bang, bang, you're up.
Let's do this.
Take cover.
Come on, hit.
Okay, even with a heavy effect on screen,
Strike now. Before
Still
it
pretty
fires
good.
Again. Sorry. Here it comes.
toma su tiempo en parte sí. Ah, qué lástima.
Damn it. Need to heal up soon.
Yeah, but so far so good. Even with the amount of effects. Pretty impressed.
Still in it.
About damn time. Bring it to him. Could keep going if I heal up.
Whoa.
It's all good. Suck on this. Hey, it's doing that thing again.
Find cover and hunker down.
Again and again and again.
A pity you don't have a PS5 to compare to. Would be nice.
Now,
Unfortunately,
get in there and do some damage.
money is not on the table for that one. Taking damage, yeah, I know.
Say your prayers and beg for forgiveness.
Limit. Fire in the hole, Scorpion Sentinel.
Be nothing left for you and I. Oh, you think I care about a few cuts and bruises? Cause I don't.
Thunder.
That thunder I hear?
And I gotta heal up again.
Getting tired of that laser?
Next, don't get tired or complain.
And you getting tired of my
A
complaints?
pity you don't have a PS4 to compare it to as well, yeah. That was such a big possibility.
Now,
I wish I did.
in there and do some damage. Hurry up. Still, damn it.
Let's do 60-50 super. Yeah, we're doing it in a few minutes. Give me a second. Want to advance after this boss fight. It's getting a little bit too annoying. Here we go again.
Again with the laser? I swear this dumbass neck hasn't learned a damn thing.
And it won't. It's bound to its programming.
It's bound to its programming. That could be a very easy meme.
Now,
It's bound to its programming.
and do some damage. Don't stop now.
Alright. Are you dead yet? It's easy, just get more money. Yeah, I mean, why didn't I think about that earlier?
Oh hell, what's it doing now?
An auto repair unit. Damn it.
Oh no, please. Don't fix yourself.
Ahead of you, Merc. When I get my chance, I'm gonna blow this bastard the hell up, and that's a problem.
Okay, one down. Good.
Follow my lead.
No
Time for the other one. You're here for help? Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. You're the best. Oh, no more thunder. Dang it.
Special delivery. Bring it home.
Take it over.
And down goes another. Oh, you ain't
Square thinks it will sell for 80 euros. It's bound to its programming. That's perfect, man. Yeah, literally. Square Enix, why? Why are you releasing this game for $70? On the Epic Games Store only and not on Steam? It's bound to its programming. Change to easy mode? Yeah, I should. Why can't you get more than 60? Because if I try that, the game looks super soft. Dynamic resolution is forced on you. Sí, la 1650 Super TL más bien. Yeah, for the people asking, 6050 Super will be fine. I mean, the 1050 Ti can even do 60 frames, so... Should be easy peasy, lemon and squeezy.
Give me a break.
Yeah, let's just flee. Just watch 3090 running this at 4K max, constant 120. Although, is that native 4K for real? How do I flee? One sec.
take care of those wounds before you bleed out.
Okay.
No holding back. That's
Lack of in-game options are literally bound to programming. Yeah. Literally.
took you long enough.
Although, as I was saying, on the 3090, is that 120 FPS at 4K native 4K or is it with the dynamic resolution kicking in? Because that's what the game does. It's doing dynamic resolution at all times. Let's put it on 1080. Oh, I cannot pause the game now. One sec.
Do I look okay? Help a girl out, would you?
Serious question, never played any Final Fantasy game. Is this one worth playing? People say it is, but I haven't finished it. Just started. Visually, looks pretty good. Let's go back to 1080 super quick. Again, I wouldn't recommend it on 1080 for 60 frames. I would rather lock it to 30 for higher pixel counts on 1080p. You can do it, but the game will look softer overall, more inconsistent on the visual side. So yeah.
I think I see an exit.
Yeah, Johan, tu CPU es importante también, creo. Santa Ray, thank you so much for the 20 Mexican pesos donation. He says, ¿puedo hablar fluido español e inglés? 16.50 o 5.70. Puedo hablar cualquiera de los dos, sí, por ahora. Muchas gracias por la donación. 16.50 o 5.70, y la que te salga menos. En este momento está todo tan caro que cualquiera de las dos debería venir bien. This engine, Unreal Engine 4. For the people asking, this is Unreal Engine 4. This is not the Final Fantasy 15 engine.
It keeps me focused.
This is literally Unreal Engine 4, and it looks pretty good. I'm impressed. Está tu RAM en Dual Channel, Johan. Eso es importante también. Is performance better or similar to Kingdom Hearts 3? Way better. At least right now. Spanish is a crazy fast language. It depends on what part of the world you're at. For us people that speak Spanish, English is too fast. Oh, going to die.
Won't last long.
Let's go to Barrett.
Don't overdo it.
Need my help, do you?
What do you always test with these 3 cards? That's what I own. And those are the cards that most people have. So that's basically my way of testing stuff. I usually try it on stuff that people can actually afford. Although right now nobody can afford anything on the GPU space. So yeah, it kind of sucks right now.
Suck on this. Don't look now, but it's about to get real.
There we go. Dead, reduced to atoms. Let's continue. How much VRAM do you have? 4 gigs on this card. Yeah, even on low, the shadows look pretty sharp. Let's just go upstairs. We gotta flee. Yeah, some drops below 60, but it's clearly adjusting the dynamic resolution.
Let's do this. This will take us over.
Okay, are we done yet?
Looks so good. Take care of those wounds before you bleed out.
Alright, good to go.
Sloppy.
You damn right it was.
Still, it bothers me that it doesn't have a jump button. It boggles my mind. Especially that I can launch enemies into the air.
Let's switch it up.
Can they just mod that in?
Gonna make your eyeballs pop.
Okay, dead.
Could be worse.
Where to now? Do you have any new cards? Right now, no. I want to get some in the future. Well, I actually applied to a job recently to be a PC technician. And in the next couple days, I'm going to know if I got selected or not. They wanted somebody in tech in tech support that can do English, advanced English. So I said, okay, that's the job for me. I can speak English. So I have to take up phone calls. I gotta repair computers, troubleshoot. I love doing that stuff. So hopefully, if that even happens, I'm going to do less live streams, but I'll have more GPUs, which will be great. We'll be able to test RTX, DLSS. I might be able to even afford consoles if that happens. And hang on, I'm getting my ass kicked. Let's cure. Cloud, we need you.
Got some fight left in you.
This time,
Got this.
fight through it.
In Punisher mode. Really, again, Cloud? Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, I should have selected easy to get faster through the game. Dang it. I was that guy. Okay, I'll just die. Please. Thank you. Both unconscious. Why dynamic rest? Because there's no other option. Okay. So I think it's time to swap GPUs, you know? I think I'm not getting to the city anytime soon. Yeah. Screw it. Let me save the progress. And later, if there is any performance degradation, I'll do the video again. Because I'm already an hour in. So let's swap to the 1650 Super. The 1050 Ti did a great job. I'm pretty impressed. Despite the forced dynamic resolution, we can actually get 60 frames. Mind blown. Alright. 1650 Super. And after that, the 570. Maybe revisit when you get to the city? Yeah, I'll probably do. Right now, though, gotta do 1650 Super. This game has VSync. I'm guessing that VSync is forced on you on this game, yeah. Seems to be. I'm not seeing any tearing whatsoever, so... Seems to be VSync mixed with dynamic resolution. Although it's weird to not have options to enable or disable that. Anyway, but still, I'm pretty impressed. Despite the game, again, forcing dynamic resolution, if you want more sharp, higher resolution, lock it to 30. If you want a more smooth frame rate, lock it to 60. And if it's possible, the game will do it for you. No tweaking required. Just lower those shadows and you're good. Have you noticed any stutters? Yeah, I noticed stutters on the... what's the name of this? When an effect shows up for the first time and goes into the shader cache, there it stutters, but it happens in the first 5 to 10 minutes. Then it's basically unstuttery. It doesn't do stutter like other Unreal Engine 4 games, which is good. So now we're on the 1650 Super. We're going to keep it at 60 with high settings. And remember that dynamic resolution is forced on us, so we're forced to use dynamic res. So just for you guys to remember, we're going to keep 10 characters on screen. So shadows lower high, textures lower high, display mode, borderless full screen, there is no full screen, 1080p, frame rate 60. If you select 120, it's going to target 120 with dynamic res. Let's keep it at 60. And let's go. Let's continue. Which one is the newest one? Oh, this one. Hey there, how's the performance so far? Performance is great so far. Mind blown.
Give me
You
a
don't
break.
look so good. Take care of those wounds.
As you can see here, the stutter, first time you load the game, the very first time, when an effect shows up, it's going to stutter, like this. This didn't happen on the 1050 Ti in this part, because I already played like an hour of the game.
Repaying you for.
Hang on. I was not paying attention. Let me try that again. Please show the best settings. There's none. Just put it on high, put it at 60 and you're good to go. This one does look like 1080p though, doesn't look soft. Looks pretty good. And the GPU is not breaking a sweat. Yeah, those should go down first. Those turrets. ¿Cuál tarjeta es mejor? ¿La 580 de 4 GB o la 1650 Super? Depende del juego. En general en Unreal 4 las de Nvidia corren mejor. Pero depende mucho del juego. Oh man, I'm so bad at this game. Cloud, get up please. Okay, finally gone. And let's heal our friend Cloud. ¿Ya salió en PC? Sí, recién. And let's do focus shot.
Patch yourself up. Now.
Yeah, I gotta patch myself up. ¿No está el juego en español los textos? No sabría decirte, creo que no. Pero capaz que me estoy equivocando. I think it looks like it's 1080p because the card isn't being fully utilized. Yeah, I agree. That's probably the case. Looks pretty good. On native resolution, it does make a difference in image clarity. For sure. How does this 30 FPS lock look like? Look pretty good. At least for the little that I played at 30 frames, looked way sharper on the 1050 Ti. On this card, 30 or 60 shouldn't make much of a difference.
Can you walk?
Because it can already hit 60s with GPU power to spare, so shouldn't be an issue. Está en Steam o Epic. Lamentablemente solo Epic por ahora. Okay, are we in the city?
Watch out for live wires. They're everywhere.
Yeah, you can wait for the mods, yeah.
Ugh. The air in here reeks. Can't wait to get out in the open.
The thing is, it uses so much VRAM. I wonder how the 2GB cards are going to go against this.
I've never smelled anything.
Does it
so
just
foul.
Vulkan? No, it's DX12.
Oh, it's me. Gotta do something about that. And soon.
But I'm pretty impressed with the TAA implementation on this one. I remember Final Fantasy 15 had super
I felt that one in my guts.
They just keep on coming.
super soft edges, too soft. It looked terrible on the hair especially. On this one, it seems that they did a way better job.
Hey, we can
Jaggies are super unnoticeable. Looks great.
Running on empty here.
You can refuel that.
Por ahora bien, Jorge.
Next time
De
I have to
maravillas.
bring a little pick-me-up.
How much farther do we have to go?
Not far.
2 potions, thank God, I'll need them.
That's about as good a place as any.
Stand back then.
How worth it will be the RTX 3050 in your opinion? I don't know.
take a hot shower.
It would be nice to have DLSS on a budget GPU though.
She's good to go.
The next to test is a 570, right? Yeah. Exactly. Estuviste cerca, Kevin. Bueno, me alegro. Eso significa que estoy haciendo las cosas bien.
Attention, all
Okay, is this the city part, guys, that you were talking about? Or is it somewhere else?
We'll split up and shoot for the last train.
These are the highest settings available? Yeah,
Freight car.
they are.
Later then.
Hey. I'd like my money.
Yeah, the city seems to be pretty similar, performance-wise. The GPU usage isn't that far off. Okay, yeah, this might be the city that you guys were talking about. What's the actual resolution right now? I don't know. You can now set materia to your weapons and armor. Try setting healing materia to your buster sword. Nah, skip tutorial. Healing and fire on the other one.
Okay, I was only trying to help. Oh, before I forget, here's a little something extra for being.
Yeah, I'm noticing higher GPU usage though in this part.
Well, see you
11100? Yeah, 11100F. So yeah, it doesn't seem to be super taxing overall in this area in comparison to the other one. And the actual resolution we cannot know, really. Since the GPU is not maxed out, I'm guessing this is native 1080p. Until something makes the GPU go over 99%. In that case, the game will say, oh, I'm not hitting 60, let's lower that resolution. So we don't have any indication on what's the actual resolution. I can only tell you, if it drops below 1080p, you're going to notice it. Trust me. It will look super soft. Can you turn off dynamic resolution? No, you cannot.
It couldn't be. But then...
This look good. I wish more games looked this good. But I'm guessing that open world doesn't give a lot of leeway to make games look like this.
The hell?
Keep moving. Yeah, still dynamic resolution. Is this an order from Square Enix? Yeah. I mean, you cannot go without dynamic resolution, unfortunately. Kinda sucks, honestly. So when you select this, the game will adjust to hit this resolution target. So yeah, kinda sucks. In this case, since the GPU is not maxed out, you're good to stay at 1080p. But as soon as it goes over 99%, it's going to lower the resolution below, and it can look super soft. Such a nice sword. Yeah, imagine carrying that. I'm fighting with that with one hand. Move! Keep walking! What is dynamic resolution? The resolution changes dynamically, basically. When the game needs to get more performance,
You're not real.
it's going to lower the resolution. Can I try 90 FPS? No, not now. I'm trying to get into a more demanding fight. Once we get into a fight, I'm going to try. But right now,
Girlfriend's waiting for me.
I'm going to try this.
Military's on the way.
Come on, move. Let's go. We got this. What happens if you change the FPS to 120? Well, the game is going to do dynamic resolution targeting 120, and the game will look super soft, basically, but it might hit 100 FPS. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it, especially not on 1080p. Not worth it. But you can do it if you want to.
My friend works there. Do what you like. I'm taking the kids to safety.
Okay, is it this way? What am I freaking stuff up? Oh, there we go. Loveless Street. Yeah, reminds me of my childhood. Yeah, this is more demanding than the indoor scenes. Please tell me that this is a fight. I'm good. I don't want your flower, lady. Fine, I'll take it.
Rappers used to give these when they were...
That's dark. Yeah, I know. That's kind of the point. Okay, yeah, this is the place where I should do the benchmarks, without a doubt.
Alright.
Yeah, this is more demanding than the indoor scenes. Who would have thought?
See ya.
Although it still manages to stay at 60 most of the time.
Let's do this. See ya. Was never in doubt.
Cloud the Sigma male, yeah. Cloud doesn't accept flowers. I love when games do this. Oh no, there's 2 cars crushed in front of me. I could easily jump over them. But no, you gotta go around. We gotta find another way. I love when games do that. So stupid. Alright, this way. Let's do the last checkpoint so I can save my progress and do that battle over and over. Alright. So save. We're going to save right here so we can fight as many times as we want and refuse flowers as many times as we want. So as you can see, 1080p, high settings, 60 frames, pretty easy to do so. You can do 120 if you want to, but you're going to drop below 100. So just to show you, because some of you guys requested it, 120 FPS dynamic resolution. We're going to put shadows on low though. That should give us a good boost, a decent boost. So high plus low shadows. Yeah, we're doing 1440p and 4K, but we gotta lower those textures. Let's fight. How much for the flower?
How much?
Okay, that was faster. So if we put the 120 FPS targets, we seem to be not reaching that target at all. But still, it's over 60. So if you wanted smoother frame rates but a lower resolution, there you go. You can do it. Accept the flower. No. Screw the flower.
Nothing to it.
Let me save again. Yeah, it runs way better than Final Fantasy 15. Yeah. Although, as far as I know, this is not open world, so it kinda makes sense. And in less demanding stages, I'm noticing 120, yeah. Would you test this section on the 1050 Ti? Yeah. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to do it super quick, because I gotta do the 570. Yeah, let's try a higher resolution. As you can see, the VRAM is super high. So we're going to lower those textures so we can increase the resolution. Then 60 frames, 1440p. Oh, I gotta change the desktop resolution for this to work properly. Hang on. Cloud solves his disagreements with a sword. Yeah, but he cannot jump over a small car. Freaking Cloud. Looking like it runs well so far, yeah. Even grandmother can jump over the cars, yeah, same. Okay, 1440p now. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so low textures, low shadows, and 60 frames dynamic rest. Then we're going to try what we were going to try? I forgot. Oh yeah, then we're going to try 4K and 30 frames. Okay, whoa, this looks way better. That sword is so sharp now. That's insane. Let's see if it can hold up. I'm good. I don't want your flower. Screw you.
Oh, don't be like that. I know you want one.
Don't be stupid.
Already.
Okay, let's see. Can we maintain 60? Let's find out. Apparently, yes.
Enough.
I mean, it's dynamic resolution we're talking about, but it looks way sharper. Yeah, way better. Why do you always test garbage low tier cards? Because I'm thinking about you. So, yeah. I don't know how to continue my phrase. Although, considering it's garbage to you, it runs pretty well on garbage. So that's good for me. So the point is, if it runs on garbage, it runs on your GPU probably.
Nothing to it.
I have the flower, but I said no.
Are instructed to leave immediately. If you need to access the train station, please take a detour and avoid the plaza near the expressway.
Okay, on low settings, apparently there are no shadows here. Let me check. Yeah, no, this doesn't have a shadow. Okay, so it wasn't the result of low shadows. Good.
Understanding are requested. I repeat,
So yeah, visually at 1440p,
this is an alert from the Shinra.
looks way sharper. Although I want to try this.
The expressway is still extremely dangerous. Those in the vicinity
Let me take a screenshot super quick.
immediately.
I'm not going to take a screenshot, only record images for a second.
And avoid
Let's see if this is actually 1440p.
train services may be suspended.
So to check that, we're going to put a 30 frames per second target. So this should give us more leeway to increase the resolution.
Your patience and understanding are requested.
Dang it! I screw it up every time.
This is an alert from the Shinra emergency.
Yeah, I think this looks sharper, yeah.
The area near the expressway.
Although the GPU usage is super low.
Those in the vicinity
So that's kind of funny. Let's try 60 again.
are instructed to leave immediately.
So this looks, yeah, it looks softer. I can notice that. Although, I think I would sacrifice that pixel count in this case. It still looks great
Train services may
on
be
the edges side.
without warning. Should this occur, your patience and understanding are requested.
Let's try that again.
I repeat,
So, iCat, which is the image comparison tool that I'm using,
area near
NVIDIA thing.
is still extremely dangerous.
If you're using the 30 FPS target, remember this is dynamic resolution forced on you.
If you need to
So the one on the left is 60 frames target, the one on the right is 30.
avoid the plaza near the expressway. Train services may be suspended without warning. Should this occur,
Although I think I screwed up.
and understanding are requested. I repeat. This is an alert from the Shinra
Nope.
Emergency Operations Center. The area near the expressway is still extremely
Oh, okay.
dangerous.
Got it.
Those
It recorded a low resolution video for some reason. Give me one sec. What the hell?
at the train station, please take a detour and avoid the plaza near the expressway. Train services may be suspended without warning. Should this
Oh no, it just loaded the incorrect video.
understanding are
So it was an issue on NVIDIA's side. Huh. Let's try that again.
This is an alert from
That wasn't a proper comparison. Hang on.
Center. The area near the expressway is still extremely dangerous. Those in the vicinity are instructed to leave immediately. If
I'm
you
not sure
need to
why
access
it looks
the
like
train
that.
station,
There we
please
go.
take a detour and avoid the plaza near the
I don't know.
expressway. Train
It
services
looks almost the same, so I would say the 60 frames one is probably native as well. Although I'm standing still, so it's not a good comparison. Looks pretty similar, yeah.
from the Shinra Emergency Operations Center.
So if you have the option,
Expressway.
if you can, put it at 60 on the 1650 Super. Probably going to drop when attacking all those enemies. But otherwise looks way sharper than 1080p. So yeah, my advice, if you want to play with good edges, 1440p, low settings, 60 frames target, should be the way to go.
If you need to access the train station, please take a detour.
So where to now?
Plaza near the expressway. Train services may be suspended without warning. Should this occur, your patience and understanding
Probably
are
up here.
requested. I
No.
repeat. This is an alert from the Shinra
Oh, I feel like an idiot.
The area
Maybe the cars unsmashed themselves? No, they're still smashed. Yeah, low shadows doesn't look bad at all.
There he is! You're not going anywhere!
There you are.
This is Sector 8 Unit 4. We have eyes on the target.
So as I was saying, it probably drops below 1440p when I'm fighting like this. And effects show up to the screen. So yeah, it can probably look softer in those moments, but with the amount of motion blur it has that I cannot disable, you're probably not going to notice the difference. Still looks great, runs smooth.
Let's go.
So yeah. Alright. Let's do 4K super quick. For that, I'll need to quit the game again. Put my desktop resolution at 4K because... borderless full screen. Can we scale the resolution? No. It doesn't allow you to do anything on your own. Which kinda sucks, but hey, what can you do? Just don't buy the game until they add more options. That'll show them. So let's try first 4K with a 30 FPS target. So 4K. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, it runs great, but meh settings. Exactly. That's my thoughts on it, basically. Oh man, it looks so that's insane. Visually so much better at 4K. Well, it makes sense. I have a 4K screen, but the sheer amount of detail blows my mind. Whoa. You guys probably cannot notice that, but man, it looks so sharp now. Let's try something. Let's do this. So let's look at... I have a save file for this. That's insane, man. This game has ray tracing? No, it barely has a full screen option, let alone ray tracing. Okay, yeah, when I'm moving around here, it drops below 30, so 4K is too much. To be expected, really. No surprises there. Oh man, yeah. This is the place. Okay. Hopefully they don't see me. I'm guessing this is VRAM limitation, yeah. Definitely VRAM. 4K uses a lot of video memory. Is there any way to activate DSR without losing the image quality? What do you mean? Yeah, no. This is not going to work. Let's lower the characters displayed to 4. If I lower to 1440p, it's going to be fine, right? Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, it does. Yeah, we're limited on video memory. So 2 gigs of VRAM cards I think are going to suffer when I try them on 1080p. Yeah, no, 4K, not enough VRAM for that. What a shame, but hey. Let's try 1800p super quick. DSR smoothness isn't actually enough. Okay, then don't use it. I don't know what alternative you have, honestly. Okay, 1800p actually does work properly. So the highest resolution I would go for is 1800p. If you go for 4K, you're going to suffer big time. Because too much video memory. Yeah, no. 4 GB for 4K is not enough. Who would have thought? Still, 1800p is pretty impressive. So, 1800p. Or is it? Yeah, there we go. So 1800p low with 30 frames dynamic res. Let's see if we can do this. But it looks super sharp. 1800p is underrated, yeah. I mean, it looks so close to 4K. It's ridiculous. That's how you know that there's a lot of
Never in
pixels.
doubt.
Yeah, 1800p I think is good. So if you want more pixels, you can do it, but at 30 frames per second, which personally I wouldn't mind. It looks so much better.
Let's finish this.
Do you know why FSR in Horizon Dawn increased my FPS in my 570? Because of video memory. And on AMD it doesn't run particularly well. Especially if you don't have more than 4 gigs of VRAM.
It's over. Here we go. Enough. You're done. That's that. See ya. Nothing.
1800p 60? No. No, we're not doing that. Unfortunately.
Just give it up! Don't run!
It's already difficult to get 30s. Let alone 60. If you want 60s, do 1440p or 1080p with 60 in the menu. And you should be good to go. Just hide FPS and pretend it's 60. Yeah, basically. Oh my god, it's so smooth. I'm getting 60 frames per second. Yeah, no, I'm at 30. Well, that's true. If I hide the FPS counter, nobody could say, oh man, that's not 60. Oh. What now? Okay, just mash X and I'm good. Anyway, let's do the 570. I don't have enough time to repeat the 1050 Ti, so we're doing a separate video on that one. Let's delete the drivers first. So give me 1 sec. I'm going to delete the drivers to jump to the 570. We don't want any interference whatsoever. So yeah. Is this the entire game or just DLC for the PC? This is the entire game. It includes the DLC as well, but the part 2 for this is still in development, so pretty far away. But so far, on the 1650 Super it runs amazing. Although I'm disappointed with the lack of options. Has so little options, only higher low textures, higher low shadows. There's no option to disable dynamic resolution, which also bothers me. So yeah, do you have several GPUs in your computer? No, I have separate GPUs on the same computer. So I remove one GPU, put the other one, and all that jazz. So here we are. Let's swap. So here's the 1650 Super. We grab the 570 now, which is up here. How convenient. And we plug it in. Here we go. For 60-year-old people who don't like the direction they took with this remake. What do you mean 60-year-old people? You can still play the original. How will it run on a 1060? Probably similar to the 1650 Super, so I would say put it on 1080p high and you're good to go. With the 60 frames target. Okay, time to install my drivers. Come on. For PCI Express a lot? Yeah, too many swaps. I mean, after 1,000 or something swaps, I'm getting another motherboard. I mean, I swap CPUs every 1 or 2 years for testing, so motherboards also are swapped around. So I'm not worried for the PCI Express slot. Although one day, if I don't swap it in a year, it's going to be difficult. Is it okay or safe to swap and replace every time? As long as you delete the drivers in the middle, should be okay. Shouldn't be any software problems. And for some reason the Xbox turned on. What the hell? Turn yourself off. What the hell, man? Yeah, good thing motherboards are not expensive. Yeah. Okay, we're installing drivers now. I'm using the latest ones, although we always check for updates, just in case. Where are you from? I'm from Uruguay, the country between Argentina and Brazil in South America. America. Yeah, NVIDIA to NVIDIA is relatively swappable, yeah. Yeah, NVIDIA detects that you put a new graphics card and it makes it work, basically. But when I swap from NVIDIA to AMD, I try to delete the drivers each time because I don't want any issues. I want everything to work properly. Your neighbor, yeah, I'm next to Brazil. I'm next to Argentina. I wish they released Matrix demo on PC. Yeah, that would be fun. Although, that would be so demanding if they use the SSD. Do you still live in Uruguay now? Yeah, I never left. You should get some light panels for your room. Thoughts? No, I don't think so. I'm fine. I have a light pointing to my face. That it doesn't do much, but it is honest work. Whatever that means. Montevideo? Yes, Montevideo. Montevideo, Uruguay. Latin America, where the garbage carts rule. Hell yeah. That's my continent. Alright. Let's see. I'm using the latest drivers as always. Let's check if there is any new ones. Nothing new. Recommended plus optional. Yeah, nothing new on the drivers. So let's just get into the game then. And the FPS counter. FPS counter on! What do you think about... I'm not going to say that. Because I don't have thoughts on that. Okay, that was my computer, sorry. Okay, let's go back to 1080. We put this on high, characters on 10, frame rate to 60, and let's see what happens. Should be okay. So, yeah, sure. Can you test the 750 Ti? Yeah, tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Let's see what happens. Although I do not trust the 750 Ti because it uses so much video memory, this game, even on low. Do you want a flower? I'm good. I don't want your flower, lady.
Oh, don't be like that.
I know you want one. Fine, I'll take it. Why do you do that to me? Let's see. Remember that the first time an effect shows up, there will be stutter. So look at this. Boom, stutter. And then after it loads up, it's going to be fine. We're going to be stutter free after a few minutes. Unreal Engine 4 stutter in a nutshell. Although it's going to be very quick. This is one of the best cases, I would say. Because in general, Unreal Engine 4 stuff has a lot of stutter, the new ones. This one doesn't suffer from that as much, which is great. I mean, it still happens, but not as much. So yeah, now we should be way better on the stutter side of things. Now that we fought a few of them. Okay, much better. There we go. Tried Matrix and Unreal Engine 5 on Series S? Yeah, I did a video about it. I was pretty impressed. While the resolution drops below 1080p on the Series S, still looks good.
Let's do this.
Let's do focus thrust. I love focus thrust. That's what she said. Solo queda un mes para God of War en PC. Sí, tal cual. Va a estar genial. Is this a beta? No, this is the game itself. This is a PC version that released today.
Alright, you're mine. It's over. Nothing to it.
Good. Reduce to atoms. Yeah, the stutters in this case should be more VRAM related now, that more effects loaded in. But yeah, the VRAM right now, pretty high. Maybe lower those textures. Yeah, lower those textures, maybe. Unfortunately, only high or low. Let's put it on low. Okay, should be reloading the assets. Yeah, still using a lot of VRAM though. The 2 GB of VRAM GPUs are going to suffer on this one. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's see. Yeah, still using like 4 gigs of VRAM. Kinda crazy.
No holding back. Let's do this. See ya.
So yeah, you can actually play this game just fine, I'm guessing. I mean, look at the frame rate. And it seems to be native 1080p as well, so the dynamic resolution is not doing much right now. Zoo Braver on the guard dog. Dead. And I gotta heal myself. Thank you. So it runs well, but it has very little options, so it's hard to be mad that the game runs well. But it's easy to be mad that the game doesn't have many options. Pretty bare bones in that regard. But if you have a budget PC, you're going to be happy. That's for sure. So yeah, I'm guessing if you have a 5700 XT, Hito, it should be okay. Oh man, I'm so bad. Oh, they dodge. Ah, that's why. Let's do focus thrust. That never fails.
Still in it.
Yeah, the RX 570 can still do it. No, no podemos desactivar la resolución dinámica. Estamos ahí trancados. So for the people asking, no, you cannot disable dynamic resolution. That's what I was talking about when talking about choice of options. There's very little. Dynamic resolution is always engaged. Fire. Okay, weakness to fire. Good to know.
Any last words?
Don't let him escape! Give up!
Dead. Reduced to atoms.
Ground forces engaging target in Fountain Plaza. All nearby units converge and provide immediate support.
Alright, good. A lot of textures noticeable. I haven't sit and look at them close to the camera. But the game still looks nice. So, optional. If you want to keep those textures higher, you can do it, but you might get more stutter in the long run, so I guess it's fine. Keep those textures on high, and if it doesn't run properly, just if it hard locks to 20, that it happens sometimes when it goes over the VRAM limit, lower the textures to low, they change in real time. So what I'm going to try now is 1440p. For that, unfortunately, I need to restart the game again, so one sec. Gotta change my desktop resolution, because, you know, borderless full screen and all that jazz. No new drivers for this, not right now. Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus. No entendí, Hiro, disculpa. Isn't there a config file? Yeah, probably, but I'm tweaking that later. We're trying that for the end. Yeah, the RX 570 can do it. Okay. Alright, I can notice that this is below 1440p with the 60 frames dynamic resolution thing. It's pretty obvious, at least to my eyes. So let me take a quick video to show you the difference. So again, dynamic resolution, not optional, it's there. It'll still happen, okay? It sucks, but it is what it is. So if you want a sharper image, 30 frames. Yeah, definitely is way sharper when locking it to 30 at 1440p on the 570. Let's do the comparison super quick. So for the comparison, I'm grabbing those two videos I just recorded, one with a 30 frames cap and the other one with the 60 frames cap, which in this case is dynamic resolution. So I think it's pretty obvious which one is the highest resolution, the one on the left. So the one on the left is the 30 frames target and the one on the right is the 60 frames target. So as you can see, when targeting 60, we're getting below 1440p, and when we are targeting 30, we're getting, I would say, 1440p native. So yeah, it's way more crisp. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you want 60 frames, you can do it, but it will be below 1440p. And if you want a better image quality, just put it at 30. So I'll play a little bit at 30 just to show you guys that is way sharper, and then we do a quick 60 frames gameplay, very quick. So yeah, like this, and this should be the best visuals that you can do.
I'm good.
I don't want a flower lady.
Enough already. I'll give you 2 gil.
Finally, I can play Final Fantasy VII for free! What do you mean for free? You don't need to buy a new GPU, that's probably why.
Get ready. It's over.
And as you can see here, it doesn't fully utilize the GPU, but that's because we're targeting 30. So yeah, it's consistently at 1440p, I would say. It looks super sharp. That's pretty good. But again, if you want performance over visuals, put it at 60. Do you think mods will help with the settings? Probably. Maybe there's something I can tweak in the config file, but as of right now, if you want almost an 80 1440, 30 frames target, and you're good to go.
Nothing to it.
And then if you don't mind lowering below 1440p, I don't know which resolution exactly it drops to, but it looks way softer. With the 60 frames dynamic res, you get way faster motion, of course, way smoother. But the GPU is going to suffer more and the pixel count will be dropping pretty significantly. This doesn't look like 1440p at all. This looks more akin 1080p. Although it's probably a little bit higher than 1080p. Using this. Yeah, it drops below 50 actually. Sometimes. So I would say if you want 60 frames, do so at 1080p. And if you don't mind lowering the frame rate to 30, you can do 1440p. The game looks way sharper. And that's basically it. How about ultra-wide? I do not know. I no longer have an ultra-wide display. It's in another room. Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Let's do fire. They don't like fire.
Time to burn.
More fire, please.
Need a light. Let's finish this.
You missed it. Did the 1650 Super look like actual 1440p when doing 1440p 60? I don't remember right now. But I think it did, yeah. It ran pretty good on the 1650 Super actually. I'm pretty sure I did a comparison there. Okay, dead. Anyway, let's do 4K. 4K is probably going to be quite the suffering experience, but hey, let's do it. The slums are going to be even worse performance. Okay, once I get to the slums, we're doing that. Let me see visually. Oh, okay, the slums have more people on screen. I see. Sector 7 slums. First visited in Chapter 3. Okay. Graphic settings. Let's do 4K. This is going to be hilarious. And 30 frames. Again, I'm not expecting 30 frames, like at all. The 1650 Super was already not getting there, so let's see. No, it's just the engine compiling shaders. Oh, hang on. Wrong save file. Grande, yo diría en la 580 si podés. Okay, let's see. Here we come. We look at this way and... Okay. It appears to be possible, yeah. Interesting.
There he is! You're not going anywhere!
Okay.
This is Sector 8,
Come on.
4. We have eyes on the target.
Interesting. So on the 570 it actually holds up. At least right now at 4K. On low settings. And at 30 frames dynamic res. I was expecting it to run out of VRAM like the 1650 Super, but apparently that's not the case. It can actually hold up. And it looks pretty sharp. Interesting.
Nothing to it.
Let's keep going. Yeah, 95 gigabytes. I would say 100 gigabytes. 100 gigabytes at least. Installed it should be like 100 gigs. But the download apparently is 96 gigs. At least on the Epic Games Store it is like that. So yeah. It requires a lot of space. Especially if you install it on SSD, it's going to be... Just delete Warzone and you can install this, basically. Yeah, it looks pretty sharp. I like this. Yeah, dynamic resolution doing its job. The thing that kinda I do not understand, better said, is why on the 1650 Super this didn't work like this. It was running out of VRAM right away. I didn't even have a chance to use dynamic resolution properly at 4K. Fire. Yeah, just delete Warzone, finish this game, and then reinstall Warzone. That's how you do it. Maybe memory leak on NVIDIA GPUs? No, I don't know. It's probably how the GPU handles when it runs out of VRAM. So hard to say. Although the 1650 Super seemed to perform better. At 1440p when targeting 60 was maintaining the resolution much better. Anyway, let me double check now if there is a config file that we can dig into. after I kill these guards. Can I continue? No, I cannot.
So much for the direct route. Find another way.
Find another way. I could literally jump over that.
But the rooftops look clear.
Why, game? Why do you do this to me? You know how much I sacrificed? I could even pass through here. I mean, come on, Cloud. That's so ridiculous.
Over there! Open fire! Shoot to kill!
Close call.
Be advised, target approaching residential area. Seal all access immediately.
Despite the little amount of settings, they did a really good job in terms of performance. Yeah,
It's all or nothing now.
at least they got that right. At least, yeah. Although I wish we could turn off dynamic resolution. That would be nice.
Don't underestimate him.
Don't underestimate him. He has a giant sword.
No holding back.
Okay, let's do fire.
No escape. It's over.
Ah, that's the weakness. Perfect. How convenient.
Was never in doubt.
Yeah, God of War would be an interesting one. No doubt about it. Anyway. Let me try something super quick. Gotta check those config files. If they even exist. I'm guessing they do. What's the name of this? Final Fantasy. Where could this be located? My games. Final Fantasy. Oh, there we go. Found it. Yeah, but it doesn't have a config file. Yeah, no. Only crash report client and logs. So apparently I cannot edit config files. Let me double check on the internet. Super quick. Final Fantasy VII Remake PC Gaming Wiki. Let's see if there's any config files that we know of. No. The engine might allow manual configuration. Yeah, no, it's very early. Still very early. So yeah, as soon as I know how to tweak stuff, I'm going to let you guys know. But right now I couldn't find it. I went into all the usual places and there was none. So we'll see. Maybe it's encrypted. Sometimes that happens. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye guys. And we need more options in the menu, Square Enix. Come on, but performance is good. I'm impressed with the performance and visuals. We just need something that is not high or low. Give me an in-between or something and let me disable dynamic resolution for once. Come on. What the hell? We're on PC. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye guys. Thank you. Love you all.